Hello everybody, welcome back to Kanga TV, home of North Melbourne fans, and I thought we should do a final check-in ahead of our last game down in Tasmania. We take on Richmond this Sunday afternoon at 1:40 down at Ninja Stadium in Hobart for the final time. It has been 14 amazing seasons. We've seen some high highs and low lows, as I discussed with Bailey earlier this week in the preview, and we've made it. We've made it to the end of our time in Tassie. It's quite bittersweet. I think Tassie served its purpose for us well and truly. We had some incredible memories, and it was a fortress for North Melbourne for so many years. In those early stages, I understand that our team looked so different to what it does now. Our form was so different to what it is now, and naturally, when you're a better side and you do have one of these home ground advantages, it is easier to get on a bit of a wicket and just keep the winds rolling. And we had some famous victories down there and some unforgettable performances. And all I can say is that I hope that we can round out what has been a very interesting relationship and pretty memorable for the most part time down in Tassie, celebrating a win on Sunday. It's a much needed win for North Melbourne. Winning this game will take us to 5.5 wins for the season and will be the best season we've had since 2019, since pre-COVID. And I just don't think the importance of winning this game can be understated. The flip side, and we don't win the game, I think all hell breaks loose, to be honest. And I don't even want to let my mind drift. I want to just focus on the now. I want to focus on the team. We do have some very exciting and eyebrow-raising team changes. So let's just jump straight into it. Some big names make their way back into this lineup, none bigger than goal sneak Paul Curtis. He and captain Jai Simpkin are joined by Matt Whitlock for his second game in the seniors in the blue and white. Riley Hardeman, unfortunately concussed in the first quarter of our game against the Giants last week, and due to concussion protocols will be forced to sit this one out. Zane, Duursma and Brynn Teakle have been omitted from the side. I really like the changes. I really like that we have brought Whitlock in for this game. I think it's going to be really intriguing to see how the forward dynamic of he and Payne and Trembath. I'm very happy that Geordie Payne lives to see another day, by the way. I thought both he and Trembath contributed really well to the side last week in their own way. And I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how the dynamic of these three guys alongside Jack Darling, of course, and then Zerha and Curtis kind of works, because in the VFL, the three boys were playing alongside each other in the forward line. So essentially, we're taking a forward line trio that in the VFL had time to gel and was working really nicely. And it was very constructive and very positive. Now we're moving them as a group into the senior side. And so I wonder how that's going to translate with better support around them, with the experience of Darling, and then obviously the way that Paul Curtis and Cam Zerha are physically, not just in terms of their presence, their marking presence, they're physically imposing as well defensively. So I think that is just going to be fascinating. It could be a really nice glimpse into the future and into maybe what the next chapter of North Melbourne does hold. So a young, dynamic and lively forward trio join the veterans, and I think we could be onto something here. I know that Richmond's defense, they're quite a mature and well-developed defensive unit, so here's hoping that we can just find ways to be creative and be exciting and kind of break through that. In terms of Jai Simpkin, the other one coming back, I know that Jai probably had the weight of the world on his shoulders for quite some time leading into his injury a couple of weeks ago. I really just hope to see him looking refreshed and rejuvenated out there. Hopefully he can really just come back to his best in the final fortnight of the season. I do think sometimes recency bias can be a part of this as well. I do think that Jai's sort of month to 6 weeks before he was injured and out of the side, and I spoke about this a couple of times on the channel, particularly in that D's game. I just didn't really think he was doing much to inspire and to kind of lead this team as a strong captain should do. And we have seen it from him, though. This season, we've definitely seen games where he's really been the one to be the fire starter. The intention is almost always there. It's just about the execution at times for Jai. So I really hope that he does feel better physically and mentally coming into this game and just do what he needs to do, because he does have what it takes to be a good captain, and we have seen signs of it before over the past couple of seasons. And maybe, the likes of a Parker was excellent last week, and the likes of a Darling as well, and these leaders around him. Sherry's back in the side. Maybe these guys will help him walk a little bit taller as well, and he can't do it all himself. I know that Larky's not there, but there are definitely enough senior figures in there, enough leaders who should be able to support him and allow him to thrive in that role. I also hope that we can see some of the best from Paul Curtis. I think his season has been a really intriguing one. He burst onto the scene in 2025 and just looked like he was ready to take the game by the scruff of the collar and just explode and reach those new heights. And he did up until his first suspension. Between suspensions, he's definitely been a little bit more inconsistent defensively. I think he's so sound. And I think when he wasn't there last week, you could really see some of the holes. But bringing in a Geordie Payne maybe has been trying to compensate for that. And I really hope that we can see all of these guys work really well together, keep the ball inside our attacking 50 for longer, allow the repeat entries and hopefully some more shots on goal. I did think that Jacob Constanti was maybe someone that may make way, although I do really like what he does bring to the side. I just want to see more of it. And I mentioned this in my review after the Giants game. It's not necessarily a punishment to drop someone to the VFL, but maybe just to find a little bit of form. It looks like we will stick with him for the last 2 games of the season. I really hope that he's able to give us a little bit more, both defensively and also in front of goal. I think that's probably the thing that's missing for a lot of people, is the opportunity for him in front of goal. Him staying in this side does see Cooper Harvey has been training in the back line, so potentially a move for him into the defense. We did see Zane Duursma play a bit of that role last week, and there was some unbelievable footage of Charlie Comben just, sort of coaching Durs through it as the game was going on. So maybe we know Cooper Harvey is awesome in front of goal, but besides from that one goal he kicked last week, he didn't really do too much else. So maybe trying to get him a little bit more involved in the game, and him in the back line may be something that we can work towards moving forward, especially the absence of Riley Hardeman. We do sort of need to fill that role quite desperately. And so I like that we're just trying different things. We've got a couple of games left and there's no harm done. I think there's enough magnets and enough key personnel in there that we can shuffle things around as required. I do think it's a shame that Zane Duursma has been omitted, but maybe they just want to get his body right, let him get his shoulder all good and healed, ready for a big 2026, get him in the gym and just get him fit and firing. It's been a funny old season for Zane, and I do think that he's probably copped a lot of criticism as picks around him start to really make their mark on this competition, but I'm willing to be patient for Zane. I think that we know there's enough talent there. We just need to find a way to bring the best of it out of him. I thought that the intriguing selection decision was to drop Brynn Teakle. I thought Teakle had been really good over the past month, but there have been rumours circulating the internet this week that Callum Coleman-Jones will be signing another season on at North Melbourne. If that's the case, then you probably feel like Teakle will be one that is delisted at the end of the season. Definitely not something that I saw coming. I've had many a conversation this week about those two in particular and where their future lies at North Melbourne, and I just didn't think that they would persist with Callum Coleman-Jones. He has been hampered by injury, but more so when he hasn't been injured. He hasn't even been that impressive prior to him doing his Achilles at the start of last season. He hadn't really impressed me much at senior level anyway. Had some massive performances in the VFL, but they just weren't translating when he got the call up. I thought that Teakle, while his roof and his upside may not be as good as Callum Coleman-Jones, he has been really consistent with his output both in the second half of last year and in the 4 games that he's played this year. So I think maybe that's a telling sign for us. I'm more than happy to wait and see what happens at the end of the season, but if those rumours and those actions over the past few days don't really tell a story, then I'm not quite sure what does. I think for this game, we really just have to win it. Like, we've got to find a way to absorb the pressure and actually stand up and win it, because we have no choice. Like I said at the top of the video, this is it for us now. We have definitely failed multiple times this season to rise to the occasion and take an opportunity with both hands when it comes our way. And this is not even a negotiable. This is not something that would be nice to win. This is a game that we must win. If we do win this game, it'll be the first season since 2018 where we have beaten the same side twice in a season as well. So a lot of potential with this game. I just really, really hope that we can find a way to dig deep and bring our best football out onto the park at Ninja Stadium for the final time before we bid farewell to Tassie. I'm feeling pretty good about this one, you guys. How are you feeling? Feel free to leave all of your thoughts in the comments below. We can keep talking over the weekend over on socials as well. Kanga TV show across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and email. I look forward to catching up with you guys after what is hopefully an incredible win. I'm just going to keep saying that every single week until it comes to fruition. Put it out into the universe. Enjoy the game wherever you are watching. If you're lucky enough to head down to Tassie, make sure you cheer extra loud for us at home. And I'll be sure to see you all on the channel post-game. Go Roos.